Hello and welcome to Collectology, and today we have a really special Music Legends Collectibles Show for you. I'm Lauren and today I'm joined by expert Lauren. How are you today, Lauren?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really excited. So obviously today we're remembering some of Music Legends. Obviously you can tell by your t-shirt. You've got Metallica.
And yours as well?
Yes, you can tell who's
You're
my
a bit of a
favourite.
Queen fan, aren't you?
Massive Queen fan. So tell me more, Lauren.
It's very exciting. So it's, of course, today, so we're remembering some of the biggest music legends in history, basically. So we've got some exciting collectibles featuring, of course, you can't miss Bowie, Beatles, we've got Elton John, ACDC, you know, the biggest bands, even now around, aren't they?
Yeah,
you know, they're still loved worldwide. I mean, I still listen to Bowie, I listen to Beatles. I wasn't around at the time, but they're so iconic, aren't they?
Their songs never grow old. I think for me, I was kind of brainwashed as a child by my family to like Queen and Bowie, and I remember as a kid like dancing around with my granddad to Elton John. So for me, I always listen to old music. I don't really listen to the charts.
It's timeless, isn't it?
It is timeless. So obviously at the time, people used to collect vinyls. I think everyone remembers their first album, don't they, really?
Definitely, yeah. It was you wanted to own albums, didn't you? You wanted to own the music. Whereas now with the digital age, you know, anyone can download music, you can listen to it online, but it's just not quite the same, is it? As owning an album.
A physical thing, a cassette, an album, or even CDs later back in the 90s. So I think it is really
definitely. And everyone, of course, used to listen to the follow the charts and listen to Top of the Pops and watch it on a Friday night.
And also people used to go and see music because it was affordable. You could go and see someone for like £80 back then, couldn't you? So I think everyone, and the radio as well, it's just kind of how people entertain themselves, and kind of it was quite good. So let's have a look more at what we've got on offer today. So tell me more, what do we have here to start off with?
Okay, so this is the collector's edition featuring the brand new Elton John stamps. So these are brand new stamps issued by Royal Mail, and we've presented them in this exclusive collector's edition, and it's limited to just £4,995 worldwide, so not going to be around for long.
No, not at all. No, I really like the artwork there, Lauren. You can obviously see the iconic
They're great,
albums.
aren't they?
And coming to here, I'm really excited about these. I actually never seen anything like this before.
No, you wouldn't expect them to be coins, but they actually are, and they've got sort of almost made to look like vinyl albums printed on the coins, and that's alongside some artwork by Sid Mora. He's a renowned artist, so he's done portraits of famous music legends, and he's done some of these coins which are fantastic.
We've got Madonna, and we've got Bob Marley, so
and of course Bowie as well.
Bowie as well. Big Bowie fan, aren't you? So that's really good. So what do we have here, Lauren? Obviously you can tell here and one at the back. Very interesting. So
yes, so these are newspaper books, and they're documenting the music careers of Bowie and the Beatles, so two, of course, of the biggest music stars. So it's got newspaper articles, it's got headlines, it's got images of some of the most iconic images of their careers, all in one book, and it's almost like a time capsule.
That's amazing.
As people were reading it at the time, you can imagine, you know, you're reading all these big reports at the time, so they're fantastic.
What a brilliant thing for a fan to own. And I can't help but notice this ACDC album here, which I'm a bit of a fan myself, so tell me more. So
this is a silver foil of their Highway to Hell album. So we'll come on to that a bit later, but it's very limited, just 1,973 of these worldwide.
Very excited about that. And obviously, the centrepiece almost, this lovely frame at the back, which I have been looking at.
So this, of course, features Elton John's most iconic, or most sort of popular album, really, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which everybody knows. And of course, it's the artwork, isn't it, on these that are so important. Everybody loves that. So you want to display it, it's in this frame, and it's alongside an official Royal Mail stamp, and it's limited to just 250 worldwide, so it's really limited.
I'm really excited about that. You can just see it's like can obviously stand out for people at home as
well. Definitely.
So if you do want to take a look at any of the items in today's show, then simply head over to collectology.co.uk/music show. And if you do see something that you like, then why not take advantage of our free postage offer? All the details of that are on screen right now, and all you have to do is enter music at the checkout. But stick around, as coming up later in the show, there's actually a chance to win this amazing Queen sign frame, actually signed by Queen's drummer Roger Taylor. That's amazing, Lauren. Obviously, I would love to win that for myself.
I'm sure many people would.
But first up, let's take a look at our first item. It's a collector's edition featuring the Elton John stamps. So Lauren, I'm really excited about this one. I'm a huge Elton John fan, so tell me more.
Yes, so this is the collector's edition featuring the new Elton John stamps. So these are new official Royal Mail stamps that have been issued this year. So they've been issued to mark the 50th anniversary of Elton John's first album. So it's quite a big anniversary actually.
Yeah.
And of course, Elton John fever is
sweeping the nation almost, isn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely is. Because he's obviously just doing his farewell tour at the moment, and concert tickets are selling out. You know, he's probably more popular than ever.
I think so. And obviously we had Rocket Man back in the summer, didn't we? Which I went and saw at least twice. What about you, Lauren?
I haven't actually seen it yet. I'm
Okay.
guilty, but I am a Elton John fan because my dad is a huge fan, so this one is particularly special for me. And the biggest thing to note about this is that it's limited to just 4,995 sets worldwide, and they're exclusive to Collectology, this particular set. So if you do want to get your hands on one, you're going to have to be quick. This is actually one of the most limited ways to own the stamps. So there's 8 stamps. They each feature some of his most famous albums, so the artwork on the stamps, which I love, I think, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's the artwork.
The music itself and the artwork.
Exactly.
And people remember owning the album. So should we have a closer look at some of the albums, Lauren?
Yes. Yes. So one of my favourites actually is this one, so we've blown them up a little bit here for you so you can see them a bit better. So here we've got Elton John, the One album. And what's special about this one is that the album artwork is actually designed by Versace, which I like, and it looks fantastic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of my favourites, I think.
Yeah,
I really like that one.
In terms of artwork, I think that was probably one of his nicest artwork. And for me, it has to be this one here. Obviously, it does feature one of my favourite Elton John songs.
Yeah, is that your favourite album?
I think so, or I would say Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, but I think they're all so good. So,
they are.
And again, this is him in his younger days, isn't it, with his iconic glasses, and Elton being as fabulous as he is with his lovely printed t-shirt. So yeah, what about this one?
Yeah, so this one, of course, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. It doesn't get much better than that, really, does it? And of course, that features Candle in the Wind, which was... I mean, is it the fastest,
I think it
biggest selling single of all time
ever, and obviously that had the original version on it, but then obviously it was remade for Princess Diana's funeral, very sadly, when he did that lovely performance, which is great. So yeah, and obviously Sleeping with the Past, which obviously had Sacrifice on, which was his first UK solo single, so again quite an iconic album for Elton himself, and again was a darker kind of obviously artwork here compared to the other ones that we've seen. So I think it's nice to have them in a set because it's all quite different, isn't it? And you can see the difference.
It is, yeah. Okay, so one of the most important things about this set, and with these stamps in particular, is that they've actually been postmarked with their first day of issue, which is the 3rd of September 2019.
So why is a postmark important for collectors, or what makes that special?
Yeah, so of course collectors want the first editions of anything. I mean, they're always the most important for collectors. And obviously only a certain number can ever be postmarked with that first day of issue. Because well, they can only do a certain number with that date, can't they? So it makes it particularly limited. And it's great, this one as well, because it's been postmarked with the Pinner postmark, which is the birthplace of Elton John, which I really like. It's a nice link, isn't it?
No, definitely.
And you've got, of course, the logo on there, Elton John, which I think, you know, just really sets off the stamps. It looks great.
I see some nice stars as well, which reflect his personality quite nice.
And you know that your stamp and postmark are forever going to be together in those capsules. So yeah, really great way to own these, and probably one of the best ways you can own these stamps, really.
So should we talk more about the presentation themselves, the importance of the capsules? Obviously it comes in this lovely box, so yeah, tell me a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, so of course, so as I said, the stamp and postmark come within these capsules. So these are tamper-proof capsules, so it means that you can't actually get inside them, but what it means is that your stamp and postmark will be forever protected within these capsules, which is something that's great because it means that you can display them, you can pick them up, you can hand them around, and of course as well on the back of these they're actually individually numbered with their number in the edition limit. So as I said, this is limited to just 4,995 sets worldwide, and that's because of course only a certain number can be postmarked. And yeah, so it's each individually numbered, which I think is really nice because it means you know which one yours is in that edition limit.
Feel like it's part of it, and obviously it comes with a certificate of authenticity, which we have here.
which is also
nice.
numbered as well with
Yeah.
the correlating number. You've got a bit of information about stamps on there as well, which is great. And it comes in this presentation case as well, so you can keep them safe, you can present them if you want to and display them like we have here. So yeah, it's definitely one of the most limited and exclusive ways to own stamps.
Really nice collector's piece, isn't it? So I think with the tour and kind of everyone wants a piece of Elton John magic at the moment, doesn't it? So
these are going to sell fast.
Yeah, fast. So if you would like to get your hand on this brilliant first day of issue collector's edition featuring the Elton John stamps, then all you have to do is head over to collectology.co.uk/262. Don't forget, of course, to take advantage of that free postage and packing offer. All details of that are on screen right now, and all you have to do is simply enter music at the checkout. It's a good deal, isn't it, Lauren?
It is good.
It's a really good deal. So if you're a fan of Elton, then stick around, because later in the show we have that stunning Goodbye Yellow Brick Road frame vinyl. But next up we have the ACDC Highway to Hell silver album. So as a vinyl collector myself, Lauren, I'm really interested in this one. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's intriguing, this one, and definitely one for an ACDC fan. So this is the ACDC 7-inch Highway to Hell silver foil coin.
A coin?
It's quite a mouthful, isn't it?
Wow, yeah.
And it's actually hard to believe it is actually a coin, but it is. But the most important thing about this is the tiny edition limit. So there's just 1,973 of these worldwide. That is a tiny number.
That's not a lot at all, is it?
No,
really?
it's not. And that number actually, though, nicely links in with the year the album was released, so Highway to Hell, which is quite a nice link, isn't it?
I think it's a nice link to have, and obviously I've bought my own Highway to Hell album from my
You're
collection.
a fan, aren't you?
I'm quite a big fan. So so obviously you can compare the two. So tell me more about the album, Lauren. Kind of popular for them, wasn't it?
It really was. It was. So this year actually marks the 40th anniversary of the release of that album.
40 years.
So it's been 40 years, which is incredible. So yeah, that's the reason this has been released. Now really, the album was probably their most iconic of all, I would say, and of course it was released just before the lead singer died, unfortunately, obviously Bon Scott. So it's a big one for fans, and it was a big one for the band as well. And it was actually their first million seller as well. So it was the one that kind of launched their career.
I think it was the one that put them on that platform. For
it did.
Like worldwide for the band, and obviously Highway to Hell as a single is probably one of their most famous songs.
Yeah, it's one that goes down in history. People still listen to now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And of course, so this particular piece that we've got in front of us has obviously got the original artwork from the album that you've obviously got nicely displayed here, and it's officially licensed, but what others might notice about this is that it's smaller, and it's actually the 7-inch disc, which if you're a vinyl fan or a vinyl collector, you'll know that usually only singles are released in the 7-inch disc, aren't they? So this is really unusual to have an album as the 7-inch. Of course, it isn't actually a real album. It's a sort of replica of an album, but it's incredibly rare and unusual to have this, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously it's actually a coin, and I can see here. I don't know if people can see it here, maybe a bit closer. So tell me more about the quality of the coin, Lauren. People might not know.
It's amazing, really, that it's actually a coin, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it has got the Queen's head on the back, so it's official, it's legal tender, but it's actually struck from pure silver, which is incredible, isn't it, really? And it's a ½ ounce, so that in itself is quite impressive. But what I love about it is the high detail that they've managed to create from this. You know, the front of the vinyl there, of the disc, is really, really intricately detailed.
I can even see, if you look on the back, it's got the grooves almost. It actually really looks like a vinyl.
It really does, and it's and it's struck to a proof-like finish as well, which is one of the highest standards you can get. You can see when you sort of move it, the shininess of it, and that's something that is really important to collectors. And obviously, something like this is so difficult to produce.
I can imagine.
I mean, I don't know how they did it, to be honest.
Explains the small edition.
Yeah, it explains
it really?
Exactly. Yeah, so they can only a certain number will ever be they'll ever be able to make to a sort of perfect finish. So they have to make the edition of it quite small.
And obviously with the amount of ACDC fans around the world, I can imagine people will be really wanting to get their hands on it.
When you compare it to the amount of fans out there, there's millions, aren't there?
ACDC collectibles are really popular. I don't know if anyone has any at home, or if anyone's an ACDC fan, let us know your favourite song or anything. But this isn't the first ACDC collectible that's been really popular, Lauren. It's kind of like a history with ACDC.
There is,
isn't it?
Yeah, so there's actually a series of coins that were issued over, because of course it's an Australian band, just to mention that as well.
Yes.
So there's a series of coins issued over in Australia by the Royal Australian Mint.
Okay.
And one in particular had a mintage of 30,000, so a huge amount more than this one here. And that sold out of the Mint within under 24 hours.
Wow.
You know, and imagine, 30,000 coins in under 24 hours. That is seriously impressive.
So obviously the edition limit of this is much smaller.
It is. It's a much lower edition limit. So I really don't expect these to be around for long at all.
So if you were to say one thing to an ACDC fan, Lauren, of why this needs to be in their collection, what would it be?
Well, it's one of the rarest and most unusual ways to own that iconic album.
So if you would like to get your hands on the ACDC Highway to Hell silver foil coin, then all you have to do is head over to collectology.co.uk/C266. And don't forget, of course, to take advantage of that free postage and packing offer. All the details for that are on screen right now. Simply enter music at the checkout. But stick around, because still to come, we still have your chance to win this amazing Queen signed frame, actually signed by Queen's drummer himself, Roger Taylor. I want to win that one, Lauren.
Yeah, I want that one as well.
But next up, though, we have the David Bowie and Beatles newspaper books. Right, Lauren, these are really impressive newspaper books. Tell me more about these.
Yeah, they are impressive on the table, aren't they?
Definitely.
They're taking up quite a lot of the table.
They are.
Yeah, so these are the David Bowie and the Beatles newspaper books. And these are fantastic. They are basically like a time capsule, sort of remembering all the moments of their music careers over the years. And sort of viewing it as the people saw it at the time. So it's packed full of newspaper articles and headlines, and so many iconic images as well that are all over the front papers of the, at the time, that so many people remember. And it's even got stories that people might not remember or might not know. Everything's in there basically. There's over 130 pages in each one of all different newspaper cuttings and reports. And yeah, it just really documents their sort of milestones of their careers.
Lovely memento to have for the artist, and a lovely piece for a music collector.
Definitely. So should we take a look at the first one?
So we've got the Beatles.
Yeah. So this is the Beatles, and yeah, just to sort of give you an idea of the kind of content, what it looks like. I mean, it's fantastic that how they've managed to do it as well. It's all in very good detail, but with some of the stories, they're great. I mean, this one I particularly like. So this is from 1963. So this was when they first were up and coming. Back in the really early days. So they were actually invited to join the stars of the time at the Royal Variety performance, which is quite funny now you look back, isn't it? They're such a big band, and yet they were sort of asked to join the stars of the time.
Who knew?
And they're saying girls were fighting the police to get to see them, and it was crazy. It was when it all started, Beatlemania. But then you sort of go on to this one. I find particularly funny because you imagine all the girls, don't you? That's what people remember, the girls sort of fanning after the Beatles. Yeah, but this sort of documents how even the boys wanted their sort of haircuts, and they had these sort of mushroom haircuts going to school. And this head teacher basically said that they had to have their haircut because they didn't like it.
Oh dear.
So that was how far it went. They were just so popular.
And very iconic as well to the youth at the time, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there might be people out there that remember having the mushroom haircut.
I know, if you did have a mushroom haircut, let us know at home. I'm sure a picture or anything would be great.
You've got everything in here. Obviously, you've got some of the sort of more poignant headlines and things, with, of course, John Lennon's death, which was obviously huge news at the time, incredibly sad. But you've got that sort of front page there. It's absolutely crammed full.
I love the fact that the adverts are still in there from the different times.
From the time, it's sort of like going back in time.
It is like going back in time. It's like a capsule in itself, seeing from the start of their career to the end of their career.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's got so much in it. Every time you pick it up, you would find a different story. Or
something. Exactly.
You almost never get bored with it. And obviously we've got David Bowie over here, Lauren, which obviously you're a big fan of, aren't you? So this is a really nice one as well. I've had a look at this one before, and I picked a couple of articles out. So obviously this one's more image focus, because obviously that was a massive part of...
it is, it's so full of his iconic looks that he had. You know, Ziggy Stardust and his kind of, persona that he had. Definitely. It was so iconic, wasn't it?
So this one was one that I really liked. It was obviously from Live Aid back in the day. So you obviously got Bowie here in his big white suit.
I love this.
You've got Bono, you've got Boy George, kind of all the big stars of the time. Obviously it was such an iconic thing Live Aid with Bob Geldof. So I just really like this image, and I hadn't seen it this big before actually. So to own it,
I think it's a great way to own it, isn't it? It's fantastic.
Yeah, it was really a fantastic way to own it. Yeah, we've got a couple more here as well. So we kind of go over to here.
Right, you can see him there.
Yeah, see him here again, the Ziggy Stardust kind of iconic look. This was obviously kind of more of a commemorative feature from the Daily Mirror when he passed away in 2016. But it kind of obviously shows how iconic he was. And then
they did such a great spread of all his different looks, didn't they?
I think this one here was probably my favourite actually. It was just kind of over the years, you can see how much he changed. It was a completely different look.
Definitely.
You can see from the long haired hair to that obviously later in his career back in 1995. So to me, I think it is a really just a tribute to him. Really.
Yeah, this would be something really treasured by the fans and anyone who likes Bowie. It's a must-have, really, isn't it?
I think it is a must-have.
So both of these make the ideal coffee table book, actually, don't they? You can imagine this at home. It's something really different to sort of, open up and show your friends, or, every time you look at it, you see something different.
I think it's a talking point as well in the music collector's home, just to have and look through when you're bored, and like you said, you can just kind of see things. So obviously the presentation of the book itself, and tell me more about that. It's lovely finish on here, I think.
It is. It's actually bound in leather, so that's particularly special. And it's embossed here in sort of a gold embossing. Of course, not real gold, but it looks so striking against the black, doesn't it? And it just makes it feel ultra special.
Yeah, it's got that luxury look about it.
It really has.
Kind of is a big piece.
And so you can also, in the front page here, you can actually get this personalised. So you can send it off, and you can get a label with your name on it, or whoever's name if it's a gift, which is a really nice touch, actually. I think that's really nice. So it's personal to you, and it's unique to you as well.
I think it's a great thing coming up to Christmas as well, with anyone new with Beatles or Bowie fan, a really nice gift and something different to
definitely
get them, really,
It's a great gift idea, these.
Great
definitely
gift idea.
So we only have a really limited stock of these, so collectors are going to have to be really quick if you want to get hold of one of these.
I can imagine. So if you would like to get your hands on one of these incredible newspaper books, then all you have to do is head over to collectology.co.uk/newspaper books. Don't forget, of course, to take advantage of that free postage and packing offer, all details of which can be seen on screen now. Simply enter music at the checkout. Before we move on to our next item, it's competition time. So for your chance to win this amazing Queen signed frame, actually signed by Queen's drummer Roger Taylor, all you have to do is answer this question. Who was Queen's lead vocalist? It's a hard one to settle on.
I think people probably know.
I know. I think my t-shirt might give people a little bit of a
clue.
Maybe. But to enter, all you have to do is send us a private message on Facebook, or head over to collectology.co.uk/musiccomp. All the details of the competition are on screen right now, and for full terms and conditions, simply head over to collectology.co.uk/competitions. Before we move on, let's have a quick recap of all the items we've seen so far today. First up, we had that brilliant first day of issue collector's edition featuring those brand new Elton John stamps. To get your hands on this, all you have to do is head over to collectology.co.uk/C262. Next up, we had the ACDC Highway to Hell silver foil coin. This is the perfect gift for any ACDC fan. To get your hands on this, all you have to do is head over to collectology.co.uk/C266. Then we have just seen the David Bowie and Beatles newspaper books. These are brilliant glimpses into the past of such iconic artists and are a perfect coffee table book. To get your hands on these, all you need to do is head over to collectology.co.uk/newspaper books. And of course, don't forget to take advantage of that free postage and packing offer, all the details of which can be seen on screen right now. Simply enter music at the checkout. But coming up next, we have the Music Legends silver vinyl coins. So these are really unique, Lauren, something I haven't seen before. Tell me a little more.
Yeah, I don't think many people will have seen anything like this before. So these are actually the Music Legends silver vinyl coins, and they are actually coins. So they've got the Queen's head on, but you'll notice on the front here, they almost look like vinyl discs on the coin. Incredible detail, and they're actually struck from pure silver as well. But these are all extremely limited, so there's just 10,000 of each worldwide. So that's a tiny number when you consider the amount of fans for these sort of legends. So yeah, you've got Elvis, obviously huge, huge music, fan base. You've got Bowie, of course, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Mick Jagger, and Bob Marley. So you can pick and choose which one you want, whichever one you are a fan of. I mean, my favourite in particular is Madonna, because I just loved Madonna as a kid. I used to love it.
Been there through the decades, really, isn't she? I think
she has.
My favourite's probably Bob Marley. I kind of like that type of music. To me,
kind of like being on the beach.
It's just being on the beach, being on holiday, so chilled, and I think he was just like such an inspiration, really.
Yeah, he was a huge star, wasn't he?
It would be Marley at the time. So like the artwork on them, Lauren, is like really striking though. Tell me more about the artwork, because that's different in itself.
It is, yeah. So the artwork has actually been created by an artist, very renowned artist called Sid Moray. And he has done over 350 portraits of different celebrities, music legends to sporting heroes, and across the board really. But his artwork it's incredible. I mean, they look great on these coins, but some of his artwork is actually sold for upwards of £2,500 just for one piece of art of a particular artist. So, you know, he really is big, and he has actually worked with people like, he worked with Andy Warhol. Who's a very renowned artist, and he was actually commissioned by Bowie to produce a portrait for Bowie, and Boy George as well. So yeah, he's a big name. Yes. And he's worked with those artists and obviously has met them as well. Unfortunately, the artist actually died in 2017, but that means, of course, his artwork is all the more sought after, because you won't ever see his artwork again. Definitely. So yeah, the artwork in itself is something that collectors will be interested in. And makes them particularly unique, of course. It's very unique, and I think it's just something that the artwork is another thing just to make it a little bit more limited. And obviously the quality of the coin itself is something to be collectible. Tell me more, Lauren. They look such a nice quality, really. They are. So they're actually struck from 1 ounce of pure silver. So obviously it's precious metal. So these really are a special coin to own. And they're actually struck to a proof finish. So a proof finish is actually the highest standard of finish you can get on a coin. And that means that the dies that are used to strike the coin are actually really highly polished. And then it's struck. The coin is struck several times very carefully to produce this fantastic finish, and you can see the shine in there as well. But what's particularly special about these, of course, is, as I said, they've got that disc on the front, that sort of vinyl look, and the detail they've managed to create is just incredible. Yeah, you can actually see the grooves in there, which is, you really can, the grooves on the disc, and obviously specialist minting techniques have had to be used to create something like that. It's definitely not an easy feat to create these. And they've actually got sort of, it's difficult to show on here, but It's got sort of a metallic finish to it as well, which just makes it even more sort of, when you move it, you can really see the detail and the sort of finish on it.
I think you have to see it in person really to see how
really
spectacular it is. And obviously it comes in this really nice case, doesn't it, to obviously protect it.
Yeah, the cases are really classy actually. They're sort of a matte finish, and they've got sort of imprinted of his signature on the front as well, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity which has, again, the artist's signature printed in there, which is nice touch as well, so it feels really authentic. So yeah, it's definitely very special. I mean, obviously you could potentially you can display them if you wanted to, but you could keep them safe in here as well. So that just finishes them off so nicely. I think
it does, and obviously you could own all of them if you wanted to own them a whole set, or if you liked a certain artist, it might be a nice addition to a collection that you might already own, mightn't it? Yeah,
and of course these are officially licensed as well, and yeah, again, it's colour printed as well. It's just, I love these, they're fantastic, they're so unique, and of course, as I said, very, very limited, so there's only 10,000 of each worldwide. Imagine the multi-millions of fan bases each one of those artists has. Just a tiny number. Okay, so yeah, if you want to get hold of one of these, you're going to have to be really quick.
So if you'd like to get your hands on one of these amazing Music Legends silver vinyl coins, then all you have to do is head over to collectology.co.uk/vinyl coins. And don't forget, of course, to take advantage of that free postage and packing offer. All the details can be found on screen right now. Simply enter music at the checkout. Before we move on, here is a quick reminder of our competition. So for your chance to win this amazing Queen signed frame, actually signed by Queen's drummer Roger Taylor, all you have to do is answer this question: who was Queen's lead vocalist? It's a hard one, Lauren, isn't it? So to enter, all you have to do is give us a private message on Facebook, or head over to collectology.co.uk/musiccomp. All the details of the competition can be found on screen now, and for full terms and conditions, simply head over to collectology.co.uk/competitions. Now on to our last item of the day. It's the Elton John Goodbye Yellow Brick Road stamp and vinyl frame. So with Elton John collectibles more popular than ever, this is a really unique piece, isn't it, Lauren?
It is.
Tell me more.
It's the real centrepiece, and I think it's got to be my favourite of our range. It's so fantastic. This is the Elton John Goodbye Yellow Brick Road stamp and vinyl frame. It's quite a mouthful, isn't it?
It is, but it looks amazing.
It does. And of course, the centrepiece to this particular frame is that artwork. So it's, of course, this is actually a pristine vinyl with that artwork in there as well in the frame. And it's limited to just 250 worldwide. So that's a really tiny number,
tiny, really,
especially when you
isn't it?
consider the amount of people that love this album and love Elton John. That is tiny. So these are going to get snapped up really quickly. So that's one of the most important things to highlight here.
So obviously talking about the album itself, is probably, would you say, his most popular album?
Oh, it's got to be.
I think so,
yeah. I think it's my favourite, mainly because I just love Candle in the Wind, of course, that original version of it, and then he re-released it for Princess Diana's funeral. Huge single, wasn't it? I think it's the most it's the biggest selling since the charts began.
Everyone knows that song.
And
obviously it was for a really sad event for Princess Diana's funeral. I think for me though, it has to be Saturday Night's All Right for my favourite. It's a really upbeat song, and I think it just really sums up what Elton is all about. If you do own the album at home, let us know. We would love to hear what your favourite song is, or if you have a different Elton John song that we would love to hear, really, isn't it? So this is a fabulous example of how vinyl can be seen as a piece of art, really, isn't it?
It really can. I mean, they are renowned, aren't they, for having fantastic artwork, and this is a really good example of that. I mean, I love the artwork on this. It was actually designed by Ian Beck, and what I really love most is the fact that we've got Elton there stepping into a poster. So it's like he's stepping onto the Yellow Brick Road. I really love that. And he's got his sort of platform heels there as well, and they've got sparkles on them, and his Elton John on the coat, which is fantastic. And the colours just really pop, don't they? And it's something that you don't want to hide away. You want to have it on your wall. You want to display it rather than having it, you know, getting dusty in a box, which is what a lot of vinyls do, isn't it? You know, a lot of people just store them away, but you want to have it on display. And we've done all the hard work by actually mounting and framing it for you. So it's actually professionally done. So it looks fantastic, especially with that sort of black frame as well, doesn't it?
I think the yellow and black really stand out, and I think
definitely.
You definitely want to hang this if you are an Elton John fan in your house.
Yeah, and that's of course paired with the official Royal Mail stamp. So this is actually the album artwork on the stamp of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. So that was released just recently, these stamps. So that really complements the artwork, doesn't it? It's fantastic. And of course, it's limited to just 250 of
Not
these.
a lot at all, really.
It's not a lot. No. And they're individually numbered as well, so you know which one yours is in the edition limit,
nice,
which is a really nice
touch, really, isn't it, Lauren? And also, if you do like the look of this vinyl frame, then we are giving away some free Royal Mail postcards, aren't we, as well, Lauren?
We are, yeah. So it comes with a pack of postcards, and they feature the sort of album artwork of the stamps. There's a series of them released not long ago, so that's fantastic. You know, it's just a nice little added touch and a way of owning the rest of the artwork as well. Of course, as well, if you do want to own this, you can use our partially 0% finance payment option at checkout as well, so you can spread the payments. It just makes it that little bit easier as well.
Yeah. So if you would love to see this stunning frame hanging over your wall, then all you have to do is head over to collectology.co.uk/C286. And don't forget, of course, to take advantage of that free postage and packing offer. All the details can be found on screen right now. Simply enter music at the checkout. So before we go, let's have one last recap of the items we've seen on today's show. First up, we had that brilliant first day of issue collector's edition featuring the Elton John stamps. To get your hands on this, all you have to do is head over to collectology.co.uk/C262. Next, we have the ACDC Highway to Hell silver foil coin. This is the perfect gift for any ACDC fan. To get your hands on this, all you have to do is head over to collectology.co.uk/C266. Then we saw the David Bowie and Beatles newspaper books. These are glimpses into the past of these brilliant artists and are the perfect coffee table book. So to get your hands on these, all you have to do is head over to collectology.co.uk/newspaper books. Next, we had those amazing Music Legends silver vinyl coins. You can pick your favourite or maybe own the whole set. Simply head over to collectology.co.uk/vinyl coins to get yours now. Then last but not least, we had the Elton John Goodbye Yellow Brick Road stamp and vinyl frame. This stunning frame can be found at collectology.co.uk/C286. So remember, if you want to check out all of the items from today's show, simply head over to collectology.co.uk/music show. And don't forget to take advantage of that free postage and packing offer, all the details of which are on screen right now. Simply just enter music at the checkout. So that's it for today, and it just remains for me to say thank you, Lauren, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure as always, and thank you for watching at home. And to keep up to date with all things collecting, make sure you sign up to our website, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube.